Hey everybody, I am David, and today is my DC TV recap. Every Thursday, I am going to be talking about all the DC shows that happen throughout the week, or the ones that I watch anyway. So, which that's going to be Gotham, Supergirl, Arrow, Flash, and Legends of Tomorrow. And so this week we didn't have too many new episodes. We only had a new episode of Supergirl, a new episode of Legend. Oh no, not Legends, Arrow. So yeah, those are the only two I'm going to talk about. But I am going to talk about my thoughts on next week's episodes. What I'm looking forward to the most. So let's talk about Supergirl first. Supergirl had to deal with Lena Luthor and her mother. The episode was called Luthors. It was a really solid episode. I really liked it. I like that we got Metallo back. I really like that we got Cyborg Superman there. You know, Martian Manhunter's robotic clone, I guess. Yeah, I really thought it was a really good episode. Really enjoyable. I really like the Smallville references that they kind of had in this episode. I don't know if that was an intentional. It had to be intentional, because Lionel Luthor was too much on the nose. We got to see Lex when he was a kid, and his father walks in with young Lena Luthor. And what's the father's name? Lionel Luthor. Lionel Luthor was an original creation on Smallville. I know Lex had an abusive father in the comics, but the name Lionel Luthor came from Smallville. I don't think, from my understanding, if I remember correctly, the character was never named Lionel in the comics beforehand. Maybe in more current comics they do. So that was a nice little reference. And there was another little reference where Kara or Lena, I forgot who said it right now, that Clark and Lex used to be friends at one point in their lives. So that was kind of a little reference to Smallville as well, because obviously Clark and Lex did start off as friends in that show, and then we got to see how they became enemies later on. I thought that was some nice little Easter eggs there. And then we got Arrow. Arrow's episode was called Spectre of the Gun, and I did a whole episode review on this. I thought this was a really strong episode. Arrow this season has been knocking it out of the park for me. And when they get into episodes, Legends has gotten into a couple of episodes like this in their season where they deal with some real life issues. And I like that they were playing around with these issues about guns. And, you know, people talk about gun control and all that. And, you know, I live in Canada. We have gun control here. There's no guns running. Well, there are people with guns on the streets. But not as much as you hear about in the U.S. And so I really liked hearing both sides. I'm still a no-gun person. I don't agree with it. I don't think people should have it. I think it's dangerous. Accidents happen. There you go. And as we saw in the end of the episode here in Wild Dog's flashbacks, we see that accident happening. And I really did like Wild Dog's flashbacks in this episode. I thought they were really strong, and it made me like the character even more than I was slowly enjoying his character as the season continued. So yeah, I thought both episodes were really good. So which was the better episode? This is kind of weird because it's like I'm only comparing two episodes this week to each other. For me, it's easy. I think the Arrow episode was the better episode of the two. I enjoyed them both a lot, but if I had to pick one, I liked the political aspect that Arrow was dealing with this week. So Arrow was the better episode this week. Now we talk about next week. Next week, let's start off with Supergirl, because Gotham is not back yet. I think Gotham only comes back in March. Gotham, or Supergirl, is going to be called Mr. and Mrs. Mxyzptlk. I don't know if that's exactly how you pronounce the character's name, Mr. Mxyzptlk. That's how Smallville pronounced the name. I don't know if it was the right name, but it's easier for me to pronounce it that way. So yeah, he comes to Earth, and apparently he wreaks havoc in National City when Kara doesn't recuperate his feelings. That's going to be a fun episode. I saw the preview for this, and when I heard that Mxyzptlk was coming to the series, to Supergirl, I was wondering, oh man, is this going to be cheesy, or are they going to have fun with this? And it looks like they're going to have a lot of fun with it. I remember seeing Mxyzptlk in the animated series of Superman, which I really enjoyed, and Gilbert Gottfried did the voice of Mxyzptlk in that show, and I thought he was great in it. You know, he also does the voice of Iago in Aladdin, so to hear his voice coming out of this other little annoying character, I thought was funny. And obviously Howie Mandel played the role in Lois and Clark, which was actually, you know, I'm not a huge Lois and Clark fan of that series with Dean Cain, but I will say that was an enjoyable episode. It was a Christmas episode, so maybe that's why I enjoyed it a little bit more than most episodes from that show. And Howie Mandel did a really good job. I thought he played the fun aspect of it really well. And then there's the Smallville version, which was the terrible version. And I love Smallville. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know I love Smallville. But yeah, that version of Mxyzptlk was terrible. And then we got The Flash. And in The Flash, the episode is called Attack on Gorilla City. So we know that means that Barry and the team are going back to Gorilla City to help Harry from Earth 2, Harrison Wells from Earth 2, because his daughter came, Jessie Quick. She came to ask for help, and it looks like they're going to go to Earth 2 to save Harrison Wells, that Harrison Wells, because there's 3 Harrison Wells through the history of the show. Going to save him. And I can't wait for that, because Grodd is an amazing character. I think we can all agree that when he first appeared, we were mind blown on how they pulled off Zod, on the budget that they have too. I mean, this is not Game of Thrones special effects, but so for the budget that they had, I mean, you have to give them a pass on how they did much better than I think a lot of us were expecting. And then they did King Shark later on in season 2. I mean, totally looking forward to this episode and seeing how they pull off Gorilla City. Is it going to be sets? Is it going to be green screen? I don't know, but it's going to be amazing. And then we have Legends of Tomorrow. And on Legends of Tomorrow, the episode is titled Camelot 3000. And, Stargirl is supposed to appear here. Stargirl from the JSA that we saw earlier in the season. So that is going to be pretty cool to get to see her. And, King Arthur, Camelot, Sword in the Stone. I don't know if we're going to see that, but, I love the time travel aspect. And when it's done right, and this season is definitely doing it right and having a lot of fun with it, I can't wait to see how they play with all of that in the episode. But it is the episode I'm probably looking the least forward to. But who knows, it might actually end up being my favorite episode of all these superhero TV shows, because Legends of Tomorrow has been, especially these last couple of episodes, have been really good. So looking forward to that. And finally, we got Arrow. Arrow is going to be titled The Sin Eater, and we got China White, Cupid, and Lisa Warner. Lisa Warner? Yeah, Warner. She's not a Warner brother, but they'll be escaping from prison, Iron Heights prison, and Prometheus is probably going to cause some shit. So I am looking forward to this episode. Arrow's been on a roll this season. I don't know if the flashbacks will center on Oliver. I'm sure it will. We didn't get it this week because they centered more on Wild Dog. So I am looking forward to seeing more of the Russian stuff, the Bratva stuff in Arrow. And seeing China White come back, I mean, we haven't had her in the present day since, I know in the flashbacks, she was in season 3, but we haven't had her in the present day, I don't think, since season 2. So it will be nice to have her back for this episode. I think they might need to... Oh, no. Yeah, she was in the flashbacks in season 3. Okay. I was forgetting some things. Yeah, so really looking forward to this episode. And with that being said, guys, I think I'll end this video here. Can't wait. Which episodes are you looking forward to the most? If I had to pick one, I'd probably pick... It's going to be a toss-up between Supergirl and The Flash. I think those two I'm most excited about. I told you I'm the least excited about Legends, but who knows, it could impress me and turn out to be the best of the week. And yeah, I guess that's it. So I'm ending this here. Like this video if you agree with me. Comment below and tell me your thoughts on the upcoming episodes this week. Which ones are you looking forward to the most? Which ones are you looking forward to the least? What did you think of Supergirl and Arrow's episodes this week? Tell me, let me know, because I'm always looking forward to hearing what other people's opinions are on certain episodes. And with that being said, guys, until next time, take care.